What's up, pen pals? Today we're talking all things metal. We're going to show some examples of different metals pens get made in. We're going to do some weight comparisons, really let you know what exists out there, what might be best for you, what you might want to try and pick up if you don't already have. So what we're looking at here, these are all titanium pens. Titanium is, in my opinion, the most common metal that you see pens made out of. So right here we're looking at just a raw polished titanium pen. Titanium is a very durable metal, which makes it great for pens, makes it great for clips, makes it great for tips. It also allows for a lot of customization options, which I'll show you here in a minute. And it's also lightweight, so if you do a lot of long form writing and you don't want hand fatigue, then titanium is a great option to look at. Now, in terms of those customization options, this was the polished titanium. You also see an example right here. There's a billet spin. But you can also get it stone washed. See, a little more dull in color. You can get it anodized, which you see some examples here. So this has banded anodization to it. One of my favorite finishes. This is another anodized pen that started off just raw titanium. It's got this bluish green color to it now. This is what's called an entropic anodization. Some people call it nebula. And then you can also have your pen anodized black. So this started just like this. Sent it off to a guy on Instagram called Use Your Gear. And he specializes really in this black anodization. He does everything, but his black is incredible. You can also Cerakote titanium. You can add a DLC diamond-like carbon coating to it. So you have some options with titanium. If you just get a plain pen, you can really make it all sorts of colors. It doesn't have to stay plain. And you can really customize to your liking. Now if we get these titanium pens out of the way here, show you some other metals. We're going to go to copper now. So copper is one of my favorite metals. It is a heavier metal. It is also what's considered a living metal because it patinas. So what you're going to see here with these copper pens, add one more. So these pens are all copper. They're in different stages of patina. So if you have it new, polished, it's going to start off more looking bright and vibrant, but over time as it oxidizes, you're going to see patina. It's going to darken. This one was more of a tumbled finish, but has patinaed very nicely. This one I got a few weeks ago. It was fully polished when I got it, but you can see how it is patina over time. Becomes darker. With copper, you don't have as many options of changing the color, but you can darken it, patina it. You can even what's called shipwreck it. So this is a copper pen here. Through acid and some other finishing techniques, it's what's called shipwreck. Comes out just like this, but this is a copper pen. Copper is a heavy metal. It's not good for clips. It's a soft metal. If that was to bend, it's very hard to get it back to its right state, unlike titanium, which is why you see most pens do not use copper clips. They're still using titanium clips. You can Cerakote that clip copper if you'd like to make it match, but it is not a good clip, or not a good metal to use for a clip if you're actually using that clip. Now moving on, we're going to show some brass examples here. I'm not going to move these too far off so you can see the difference between brass and copper. So these three pens in the middle, these are brass pens. Similar to copper, it is a heavy metal as well. It does patina, so it's more of a living metal. It does have a brighter color than copper does. I actually like the color of brass. It doesn't patina as fast as copper does. This specific pen here does not have a polished finish to it, which is why it looks a little different. but these are all brass. Putting copper back in, you can kind of see the differences in color between copper and brass. Some of my favorite pens to use. I like heavier pens. When we do the weight comparisons, you'll see what these weigh, but these are all some of the heaviest pens that I own, much more so than titanium. I do not do a lot of long form writing, so hand fatigue is not a huge concern of mine. But again, if that is something you do, you may want to look at a lighter pen. Adding into the mix bronze. This is a bronze pen. Just show you how it looks compared to everything else. Let's move this in the middle. So that's bronze. Has a nice color to it. It is much different than copper and brass. You can really tell the difference in that one versus the others. It's the only bronze pen that I own, but there are makers out there like Tactile Turn making bronze. This is an Otmog. It's a little more uncommon than brass and copper is, but if I had to pick one of the three, I think it's the most luxurious looking. With these metals here, I will mention that when you're using them, there's a chemical reaction between your skin and the pen that makes your hands smell metallic. Hard to describe, but if you kind of know in your head what metal kind of smells like, then that is what's going to be on your hand when using these pens. You do not have that when you're using titanium, zirconium, aluminum, Timascus. This is really just in what they call these stinky metals. Add that copper in. Also, a fun fact on copper, it does have antimicrobial properties. Alright, so taking these pens away for the moment, we'll move on to a different metal. Let's look at zirconium. So zirconium is mostly going to be your black pens. It's not naturally a black metal, but in pens it's typically always blackened. I have seen one example where they're looking to keep it raw, but typically when you see these black pens, they are zirconium. Now with zirconium, this has an oil slick finish. You can kind of see those colors pop here as I spin it because of that oil slick finishing, where these two are just blackened titanium. This as well has an oil slick finish, a little harder to see, but you can see in the grip a little bit those colors. Then on the sole pen, zirconium is a durable metal as well. It does come at a little higher cost than brass, copper, bronze, titanium. It's considered one of the more exotic metals. In terms of exotic metals, it's on the lower end of the scale for cost, but zirconium is my choice if I ever need a very luxurious looking pen overall, if I'm going somewhere nice, if I'm looking to just have a professional pen that looks high quality, looks well crafted. Zirconium is one of my favorites. I'm very big in black pens. I like the black and bronze or black and brass look. I have that pen, this pen, one more right here that all have that colorway. So zirconium is a great option if you do like black pens. If you're looking to spend a couple more dollars to get that finish, very nice finish there with the black. Now moving on to another exotic metal, we have Timascus. Now a little bit hard to see in that light, but I'll bring it closer to the camera here in just 1 second. So this right here is Timascus pen. This is higher on the exotic scale. You can really see all the grain right there and that pattern in the metal. It's got this bluish tint. Companies like Fellholter, Biltzman have really nice examples of these pens. Now this metal is going to cost you anywhere from probably This was 200. This is the cheapest cheapest pen I've ever seen in Damascus, but typically you're going to pay over $300, $500, up to over thousands of dollars depending on the maker and the quality of the metal. But if you are looking for this pattern finish, then you do have to go into the exotic world to get it. Now, another metal pens come in is aluminum. This is an extremely lightweight metal. This is aluminum as well. Aluminum comes on the cheaper side when buying pens. It is super lightweight, so if you're looking for something even lighter than titanium, then aluminum is going to be your best bet. It does show some scratches a little more than titanium does. You can see this pen's had some love. But if you're looking for that lightweight, affordable pen, aluminum is a great option to go with. In addition to that, you have stainless steel. This is just an $8 cheap zebra pen, but gives you that metal finish, that metal look, at a very affordable price. Stainless steel. So now let's do some comparisons to show you the differences in weights here between pens. So we're going to start with titanium and zirconium. So right here we've got the billet spin sole pen in titanium, and you're looking at 37 grams. The exact same pen in zirconium, 47 grams. Zirconium is a heavier metal, not as heavy as copper or brass, but certainly more heavy than titanium. Show you an aluminum versus copper. So as mentioned, aluminum, very lightweight, 20 grams. Now if we do its copper counterpart, you're at 62 grams, which for a pen, that is extremely heavy. That's why I mentioned if you're looking at long form writing, maybe you stay away from some of those copper, brass, bronze metals. Now let's take a look at some copper. Let's do, so that's a copper Q3D, that's at 40 grams. And we are going to compare it to a titanium Right Choice Painting Company, 23 grams. Now this tip here is a different metal. That is not a titanium tip. It is a Damascus tip. So you're at 23 grams versus 40 grams. So you can see the difference in weight there. If we look at, see what we do next. Look at brass and copper. So we got two pens fairly close in size here. That's a brass Karis Customs modal, 65 grams. This is a copper Nottingham Tactical, 54 grams. If we show on the smaller side, it's a smaller brass pen, 48 grams. This is a smaller copper Otmog, 36 grams. And then to compare that to a titanium version, the same size pen, you're at 21 grams. So you can see that the weights on copper, brass, bronze, they're pretty heavy. Let's get that bronze pen out here to show you the heft of that versus titanium. So you're at 65 grams on the bronze, and if I do that same pen in titanium, you are at 41 grams. So a pretty big difference between the two. Put that Damascus pen on here. You're looking at 36 grams. Different aluminum for you to see. very lightweight at 24 grams. In case you didn't believe me, this is a copper pen, 50 grams. Tactile turn side click. So there's a bunch of options for you in terms of metals, pens. I don't have all metals that pens are made in. There's a lot on the exotic side, like Damasteel I don't have, Mokume, Zirconium. One thing I did forget to mention, I don't have a full pen in it, but Mokume, which is what this metal is made out of, is also a favorite of mine. Fairly expensive. I have another Mokume tip here. Pens do come in that. They come in superconductor Mokume. So there's definitely options out there in the exotic world that I do not have if you're looking to spend the money. But in terms of on the cheaper side, showed you a lot today of the different options that exist out there. That's all I got for you for today. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up. Feel free to subscribe. Thanks, everyone.